Shall we just go straight to
This is more a G4TV story than a Batman story. So we see someone who was an interviewee at G4TV for the position of a host come out and talk about the kind of questions they were asking potential employees. So here's the quote. I was already sus of G4TV during the interview process. They offered me a host position where you have to relocate out to LA. So I go to the interview process and the guy that was interviewing me goes, so why should we cancel Batman? Why do you believe we should cancel Batman?
Not
and
should
I
we.
was like,
Not should
why
we.
do you believe we should cancel Batman? Wording is important, guys.
Yes.
And I was like, why are we canceling Batman? And he said, because he's rich and he's white. People believe that he just skates on the law and that if someone of color did the same thing, they wouldn't get away with it as he does.
Ignoring all of superhero culture for years and years and years and years.
And after asking that was a real ass question they asked you, she said, that's literally what G4 Recruiting asked me and whoever their manager was or whatever their interviewers were doing.
Let's accept now that this was always going to fail whether Frost had given her rant or not. If this was the general idea behind your company culture, you were screwed from the beginning because you were entering a space that would not adapt to this. Gaming culture, internet culture does not care if Batman is white.
Right. Okay, so Frost G4TV is to Hallmark. Wait, no. Frost G4TV is to Olivia Munn G4TV as Hallmark is to Great American Family.
Not really, because they're not the same company. Not really.
Well, it's analogous, right? Because one thing has a creative energy that people are genuinely attracted to, and the other one is, bereft of fun, bereft of actual comedy and entertainment.
All of these...
And it's just about lecturing.
All of these, whether it's Cinema Blend, Kotaku, all of these magazines literally sound like they would be the absolute least fun people in the entire universe to hang out with. There's a couple of them, and I don't know their name. Actually, I do know their names offhand, but I'm not going to bully anyone. But there's some of the writers at Cinema Blend. I'll be reading an article, and I'm halfway through, and I know who wrote it before I'm even done because of they all have their tonal snark, right?
Yeah.
That you can understand, and as soon as you hear that some part of that story, you're like...
Immediately know.
You know who it is.
Yeah. So this content creator also said, this is one of the reasons why they didn't pursue me to the next level. To be honest, if I was getting robbed or assaulted in Arkham or something, I wouldn't really care who's saving me. I wouldn't care if he's rich and white. I just care enough that he's actually saving people. I asked, are you going to do anything about it? And he didn't like that answer. So, clearly this, even though Batman is not real, this translates to how these people, these severely brainwashed people, relate in the real world.
Yeah.
They see anyone who is white or who they perceive to be
privileged
rich. In any way, rich.
So the question is, would
they can't do anything good?
Yeah. Would the same thing have been said if Batman had not been a straight white character? Would they have said the same thing? No.
No, that would be unfair stereotyping.
Yes, you would be stereotyping.
It's just like, if you fit these certain categories, if you're a straight, white, cis male, you are irredeemable. There's no coming back from it. And it's just such an odd question to ask. I'm sure it was related to the conversation that they were having beforehand, but still. It's such a manipulative wording to say, why do you believe this thing?
It's also inherently political. Stevie J in the chat says you can't directly ask their politics, so they ask, "What would you cancel Batman?" That's a way of, you'll understand, like, it's kind of a sneaky way of understanding someone's worldview without actually asking them their worldview.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it's just, the wording is so clearly manipulative.
Yes.
And intellectually dishonest.
And there are rich,
assuming that you believe this first and then asking you why.
There are rich, famous superhero characters of all races, genders, creeds, and colors. It does not matter.
And weirdly enough, Superman has been criticized for the exact same reasons. That he's white, or that at least that he appears to be a normal white man, and he gets away with, you know, destroying cities and in the process of saving people because of his skin color. Like, I've seen people actually say that, as insane as it sounds.
Serge X is talking in the chat. They're talking about Spider-Man is poor, though. Yeah, but they don't like Spider-Man either because he works with the cops. Remember, they tried to cancel Spider-Man.
There's always something, though. Like, can they find any superhero who perfectly aligns with their values and doesn't have any flaws?
No.
That wouldn't be an interesting character anyway.
It's boggles my mind that they thought that given what who their audience was before, that these types of questions would lead to the type of people hiring the type of people that would actually make them any money, because it was never going to, not in any real way. Not to mention, I did watch a video. There was a Clownfish TV. By the way, this article is from Clownfish TV, guys. I do recommend, if you're not already, I'm sure a lot of you are, subscribe to them over at Clownfish TV on YouTube. They're a fantastic channel. I really, really enjoy Neon and Geeky's work. But it's one of those things where they had like a $25 million studio that they were producing it in, also that they could make a show that looked like it was done out of someone's basement. Like, it makes no sense whatsoever. Then again, maybe they didn't have streams cut out at 1 hour and 18 minutes, so what do I know?
By the way, I just sent you a clip talking about this Batman situation that I'd like to play.
Let me find it. Maybe this is what Twitter. All right, so let's give it. Make sure we're still connected here, guys. Looks
I
like
certainly hope so.
It's like maybe that's what cut
it says. We have a good connection, so
let's play this.
We should be good.
Just go and I can like talk about stuff.
Yeah.
G4. What do you mean?
Okay, so like people are always like, yo, G4 shut down because of this or that, and I'm like, bro, I was already sus of G4 shutting down from the interview process, because like the guy who was interviewing me, he goes, so why should we cancel Batman? And
what?
I was like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, why do you believe we should cancel Batman? And I was like, why are we canceling Batman? And he's like, because he's rich and he's white. And I was like, well, what do you?
Thank you.
What do those two have to do with each other? Like, yeah, people believe that he just skates on the law, and that if someone of color did the same exact thing, they wouldn't get away with it like he does.
That's a real ass question that they asked you?
That's literally what G4 recruiting asked me. If I was getting like robbed or assaulted in Arkham or something, I wouldn't really care who's saving me. I don't care if he's rich and white. I just care enough that he's like actually like saving people. Because are you gonna do anything about it? Yeah, he didn't like that answer. Then later on, another question they asked me was, okay, besides Batman, what other superhero would you cancel?
You know, I know exactly who they wanted you to say. They wanted you to say Spider-Man because he works with the NYPD. Fucking Kotaku, every time a Spider-Man game comes out.
Well, and they want Miles Morales. They would rather have Miles Morales replace him anyways.
So they said G4TV had no chance in hell from the start, and a quote tweet said, G4TV was building the brand on cancel culture from the ground up. This is absolutely insane. Yeah. I think that this was their plan all along. Like, their business plan was to capitalize on, you know, butthurt people in gaming, and it didn't work out for them because that culture is dying.
It makes me so sad. so sad.
And by the way, they're taking a job opportunity away from a girl who seems like very chill and like she genuinely likes like talking about these subjects. And
well, they don't want you to like talking about subjects. They want
because
you to like
she
talking about
actually didn't get angry when just talking about these characters.
It's very clear when you read any of the articles.
She was out of the running.
When you read a lot of the articles on like a CBR or a Kotaku, that they don't want to talk about these things. They want to talk about ideology.
Yeah, and it's just a proxy for them to do so.
Yeah. Which is like it's one thing if you're a channel that's doing stuff where you're analyzing how pop culture affects the culture, the whole of the culture you're living in, right? But if you're strictly gaming or strictly that, like, it seems like you would want to stay in that territory. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.